Hi, this is Bob Lord, Chief Security Officer at the DNC. While the 2020 elections are a ways away, adversaries are hard at work today to compromise accounts and systems. If you're considering running for public office, whether it's the school board, the state legislature, the United States Senate, or even running for president, the short video is for you. The time to take action to protect yourself is today, not weeks before an election. So, who are these adversaries? Well, the list is long. They could be criminals looking to steal money, or hacktivists looking for materials they can release online, or they could be agents of foreign governments looking to affect the outcome of elections, or something else entirely. Luckily, there are a number of steps that you can take to protect yourself, and we've prepared a checklist to guide you through the process of improving the security of your devices and accounts. Here are some of the highlights.
Attacks against people, companies, and organizations are nothing new. But sometimes it's hard to know what steps we can take that will keep us safe. At the DNC, we've put together a list of things that you can do that will dramatically improve your security posture titled the DNC Device and Account Security Checklist. We intend for you to print out the checklist and to go through each step. These slides are a broad overview of some of the key elements of the checklist. Broadly speaking, we can divide our work into two categories: securing your devices and securing your accounts. Devices include your phones, tablets, and laptops. Accounts are services that you log into, like your email account, online merchant, or bank. Let's start with securing your devices. This section is pretty simple and there are just 4 steps. First, let's talk about keeping the operating system of your phone, tablet, or laptop current. From time to time, you'll see an alert on your devices that there is a software update pending. It's incredibly important for you to take the time to apply those updates. Why? Because the makers of your devices include in each software update some security improvements. Unless you're running the latest version of the operating system, your device will have security flaws that our adversaries can take advantage of. Keeping your device updated is a simple and very important part of keeping secure. Next, let's look at your applications. Apps that you've loaded onto your phone or laptop follow the same logic. An out-of-date application might be vulnerable to security flaws that are known to attackers. That's especially true of your browser. That's an app that you simply must keep current. Next, let's talk about encrypting your data. While some devices, like modern phones from the major manufacturers, have encryption turned on by default, that's not true of your laptops. And that means if your laptop is lost or stolen, someone else may be able to acquire your files and even access your online accounts. This checklist contains links to websites that will help you encrypt your laptops. Finally, we urge you to install a plugin called HTTPS Everywhere. It's a plugin that strengthens your browser's existing security features by making sure all your connections to major websites are encrypted. These 4 steps are the ones with the biggest bang for your buck. Consult the checklist for more information. Now that you've secured your devices, it's time to secure your online accounts. Here are the 3 major areas, and we'll break them down in the next few slides. First, you'll need to have a strong and unique password for all your accounts. Even a single compromised account can lead to other compromises. That's especially true of your mail accounts. Think of it this way. If attackers take control of your mail account, they can often use password reset features of other online accounts to take control of them as well. So a compromise of your mail account can lead to a compromise of all of your other accounts. Second, the best way to manage your passwords is with a password manager. I'll show how they can help you manage your other passwords in the next few slides. And finally, you'll need to enable 2-factor authentication on all your mail and social media accounts. There are a number of names that mean roughly the same thing: 2-step authentication, 2-factor authentication, 2FA, multi-factor authentication. Whatever the various websites call it, it's a critical security feature. Let's drill down into the topic of passwords. People have been predicting the end of passwords for many years. Until they're proven right, we're going to have to learn to live with them. Here are the basics for good password security. Every account you have needs a password that is long, which means at least 12 characters. I personally prefer passwords that are 15 characters or more. In fact, many people use passwords that are over 30 characters long. Second, the password must be hard to crack, and that means you can't use your birthday, the name of your pets, or anything else that can be tied to you. Basically, that means you have to use a randomly generated password, and since humans are notoriously bad at generating random passwords, you need to let a computer do that for you. In addition, the bad guys love it when you reuse passwords at multiple sites, so that means you need to have a password that you have never used before, anywhere, at any time. It must be unique. Good passwords, therefore, look a bit like the examples here. Sometimes you'll hear security people talk about passwords and sometimes passphrases, implying that one is better than the other. But as long as they are long, randomly generated by a computer, and unique, either passwords or passphrases are acceptable. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that you have dozens of online accounts, and there's no way you could remember long, random, and unique passwords for all of them. While there are tricks to memorizing lots of random data, luckily there is a better solution. That solution is to use a password manager. So what is a password manager? In short, it's an application that takes control of all of your passwords. A password manager can generate strong passwords for you. It will store all your passwords in a secure vault. And finally, it will enter your passwords into your browser or mobile app for you. After using a password manager for just a few weeks, most people will tell you that using a password manager is actually easier than not using one. It just takes a little practice. This slide shows how password managers work. The image on the right shows a simple password manager username and password. In this example, the user is Jane Doe at example.com, and she uses a long, random, and unique passphrase to protect it. Note that a passphrase is much simpler to remember than a complex password. The password manager will use this passphrase to encrypt all of the individual website passwords. In this example, Jane has 3 website passwords, and they all have long, random, and unique passwords. That means that a compromise of one of those sites will not lead to a compromise in any other. Password managers offer a hidden benefit. In addition to helping you maintain long, random, and unique passwords for all your websites, they also add a layer of protection from phishing attacks. Phishing attacks are incredibly common and effective in account hijacking. How does a password manager help prevent phishing? Remember 2 points. First, your password manager stores in its database the website location of your account, plus your name and your password. Second, when you instruct your password manager to log in, it looks in the database for the name and password for the site you are visiting. If you are tricked into visiting an imposter website that looks like the real thing, your password manager will not have an entry in its database and it won't be able to log you in. The password manager can only log you in to the real website. Another benefit of password managers is that they allow you to store other data, like credit card numbers and notes, in a secure manner. Finally, I can't stress enough the power of two-factor authentication. It's one of the most important tools you have to keep your account safe. All too often I hear stories of people whose accounts were compromised because they did not use two-factor authentication. So what is two-factor authentication? In short, it's an additional step that binds something you have, usually a phone or application, to your online account. When you have two-factor authentication enabled for a website, you will typically log in by having your password manager enter your name and password as you would normally. Then the system prompts you for the second factor, such as a 6-digit code that is generated by the app on your smartphone. In summary, apply operating system and application updates. Use a password manager for all accounts. Enable two-factor authentication. There's a lot more, but these are the key first steps. If you have any questions either about the checklist, this presentation, or anything else security related, please email security-help@dnc.org and we will do our best to answer.
Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I know it seems like a lot, but once you incorporate these practices into daily habit, you won't even notice them. Please work with your teams, business associates, partners, and family members to adopt a strong security posture. Your security chain is only as strong as the weakest link. This checklist is the starting point. One of the best things you can do to ensure the cybersecurity of your upcoming race is to reach out to the DNC with advice and questions. My team is standing ready to help you with your cyber defenses. Thanks.